Finchley's Jamie Yelland in fight number 11. He's won 8, lost 1 and drew 1. The one he lost, he was stopped with about 20 seconds to go against the Ugandan super bantamweight based at the Peacock, John Mackay. And there's some blood to the head of Jamie Yelland on the forehead as Nicky Booth starts to go to work and press the punches home.
Well, I'm impressed by Yelland's tactics because he's not on his bike. He's hanging around there, he's working behind a nice tight defence, but he's trying to lead, he's trying to counter. So I think we're in for a little treat here.
Nicky Booth is so good at doing is drawing them in. His opponents, he made Jim Betts stand and fight with him. He made Stephen Oates stand and fight with him. He made Eddie Lewis trade as well. And at this level, he is so hard to beat doing that.
But the good thing for Yelland in these early stages, Booth is not getting through cleanly. His defence is nice and tight. Booth is not thinking about defence, so he's taking these little leads on the way in. There goes another left hook onto Booth's chin. So I wonder, has Booth just maybe underestimated this fellow? Just that little bit.
Useful counters from Jamie Yelland, who's moving well and boxing very efficiently at the moment. He said that was the plan, just to stay on the outside, make Booth come to him, pick him off. He knows how strong Nicky Booth is and what a job it was to be, under no illusions. But, he's taken a month and a bit off work as a labourer and has trained frenetically hard for this.
Well, this is shaping up a lot better than I expected. I thought Booth was going to have to go looking for Yelland, but not the case. He's standing there, really boxing well, accurate with his counters, really boxing well.
Not proving that easy to hit either, Jamie Yelland. Good skills so far shown. He was a pretty good amateur himself, although he's come up really quietly and few people have even seen him before. Jamie Yelland.
There's a good left hook from Booth there.
He's just keeping those gloves up. Just walk onto one, but he took it well. Interesting. Well, he only turned professional 3 years ago, Jamie Yelland, with a low-key win over Chris Emmanuel. 11 fights later, he's in a British title match, and he's not doing too badly, Jim.
Not doing too badly at all, no. I mean, there might be a bit more authority in what Booth's doing, but I like the defence of Yelland and the accuracy of his counter punches.
Booth starts a third fast in the silver trunks with the black boots from here in Nottingham.
Yelland looking to hang on for a few seconds. I think he was slightly shaken by that first shot there.
To rise Yelland open with that jab, Nicky Booth. There's the right again from Yelland. He's not proving that elusive, Nicky Booth, and Yelland is starting to have some success. Just breathes there, Nicky Booth, and looks at the other corner in a sort of, well, he's not bad, your fella.
I don't think Booth's putting enough thought into what he's doing here. I think he just fancied the job just a little bit too much. I think he was expecting to intimidate Yelland. That hasn't happened. He needs to put a little bit more concentration into his work.
And remember, Nicky Booth is beatable. He had a very ordinary start to his professional career. He won a couple, lost a couple, and drew. And he's been beaten when he's been moved up in class for an IBO shot and a Commonwealth defence. So look at this from Yelland with the right hand, and his trainer Paul Rees in the corner here applauding his every move.
Well, I was calling for a career best performance from Yelland before the first bell, but so far he's producing that. really controlled, lovely defence, accurate punching. No signs of Booth struggling as yet, but hasn't really solved Yelland out as yet. No signs he's doing that.
Hasn't yet stamped that Nicky Booth authority that he so often does in this ring here in Nottingham. Intimidating atmosphere for a challenger to come into, but he's boxing really well, Jamie Yelland. Can he hold it together? He's not a big puncher, so he's going to probably have to do this the long way. Booth starting to exert pressure now.
It's a little bit ominous that, again, the fact that towards the end of the round, Booth looks the more impressive of the two. That in a 12-round fight could be a little bit ominous, but so far, so good for Jamie Yelland.
He looks stronger as well when he does that. So he hits harder, Booth.
Yep, all the way around. I just think maybe he's maybe not been motivated, or maybe he thought this was going to be an easy night's work, but it's not proving that.
Pushes Booth away, Yelland, showing his own strength. Left and right, and good fight, Booth, but this man, Jamie Yelland, is catching the champion fairly clean. Booth may have the power, but he's being caught coming in, Jim.
Yeah, but I think he's been boxing beautifully, Yelland, control, good defence, and Booth hasn't found any accuracy, whereas his counters are very accurate. I've actually scored the last couple of rounds to Yelland.
Here's the fourth round, the 23-year-old Nicky One Smooth Booth up against the 28-year-old Jamie Yelland in the blue trunks. The cute boxer from Finchley who's never been anywhere near this sort of class before, and he's adapting fairly well. Look at that. Booth being hit fairly easily tonight.
Booth's going to have to raise the tempo here. He's going to have to throw punches in bursts, because he's trying to box his way in behind single shots. And Yelland, a lovely boxer, he's nothing surprising him. He's got everything under control.
Another right hand from Jamie Yelland. But Jim, isn't it the work rate of Nicky Booth that's normally so impressive when he puts the punches together so well?
Yeah, but we haven't seen that yet. He's trying to box his way in behind single jabs. It's not working. It's time to try something else. He has to raise the tempo. Yelland's a thinking boxer. The thinking boxers don't really want to work at a pace, so he has to raise the tempo to make sure he hangs on to this title of his.
So often Nicky Booth turns the heat up at domestic level, and few can handle that. But Yelland has been first off with the jab, beating Booth to the punch, circling well, and making Booth, at the moment, look fairly ordinary.
Well, I would say that all of the eye-catching punches, all of them have come from Jamie Yelland. Booth is looking aggressive, he's looking strong, but he's not landing cleanly. It's obvious when Yelland lands, because you see Booth taking the full force of the punches. He is the one with the accuracy at the moment, and things are really going well for us.
Right over the top from Booth, who's tended to come on in the last minute of all these rounds, try and show who's boss, but it's certainly not smooth from the One Smooth man.
And he's not really penetrating Yelland's defence. Yelland's still not really in any real discomfort so far. And he is the one with the accuracy. There goes the left hook again. Booth beginning to struggle here.
Being backed up, Nicky Booth, too. Clever, consistent work from Jamie Yelland, who's getting around the orthodox stance of Booth, making him miss, catching him on the way in, giving him angles. But this is where Booth will want him, right in the middle of the ring. Intriguing defence, the fourth one. Let's join Mickey Campbell, who's with Ed Robinson.
Well, Mickey, what's your reading of the fight so far?
I think Booth's strength is edging it. Yelland's obviously got a game plan, the box on the back foot, boxing very, very nicely. last couple of rounds, I think he's getting more into it. But obviously, I think they're looking at the 12-round duration and looking to get his jab going, right angle. But I think Booth is edging it through pure strength.
Is Yelland working enough?
I think he could do with working a bit more, but I think it's a minor factor because of distance, and I think that's what he's trying to do, pace himself.
Do you think Nicky Booth's going to win this fight?
He's looking that way because he's nicking the rounds through just pure willpower.
Thanks, Mickey.
Mickey Cantwell there, Jim, thinking that Nicky Booth is winning the rounds. Do you?
No, what I was saying earlier was that Booth looks impressive because he keeps coming forward. For me, he's not landing clearly. He's not penetrating the defence. Yelland, I think, is boxing beautifully, pacing it beautifully, doing everything right. He is the one landing the accurate, clean shots.
As so often in the roller coaster career of Nicky Booth, can you believe he's only 23? He has a fight on his hands. He came unstuck against Jose Sanjuaneo and against Steve Molitor, and as you can see on Jim's card there, Jamie Yelland pulling away.
I think he's been accurate in every round. I think Booth has been struggling badly. He looks the boss the way he's marching forward. He has that impressive look about him, but he hasn't got down to work, and he must do that now.
Yelland, a good boxer. Steve Molitor was that. Actually, he's moving into world class. He struggled with the southpaw stance of both him and Sanjuaneo. Sanjuaneo's a really hard defeat in 9 rounds, where we didn't know whether he'd come back from that. He did. He keeps proving us wrong. Can he turn this one around and get Yelland out of his rhythm?
See, Yelland, again, this is probably the best little spell I've seen from Booth so far. See, Yelland's got the sense that if he doesn't land the counter punches his victims forward, then he nullifies his work, grabs a hold of him inside and just waits for the referee to break them again. His tactics have been bang on, but Booth, certainly there's a big improvement in his work in this round.
Yes, he tried a left hook to the body about 15 seconds or so, and again Nicky Booth, he's starting to get closer, he's starting to get in range.
I think he's realised he has to raise the tempo. That was the problem. The tempo up to now suited the thinking boxer. Booth has to raise that tempo, and he's doing that now. Has to draw this fellow into a fight.
The pace, so important in a Nicky Booth fight. So fiery when he gets going, rather like the character he is outside of the ring. His brother so quiet, they're like chalk and cheese. Nicky outgoing, confident, arrogant. He believes he belongs in the ring, Nicky Booth. He believes the British belt is his and no one else's. And he really wants to stamp that authority before Yelland pulls away.
Certainly more like it now, but he's throwing punches and bunches now instead of those single jabs he was trying to walk in with. I think he's finally realised this could quite well be a hard night's work. I don't think he expected that in the early rounds.
What's Yelland got to do now to keep up the rounds and make sure he doesn't fall behind?
Well, he's going to have to go with Booth. I mean, his tactics are sound. Land the counters, if not, then they nullify the fact that the work the Booth's coming in with. But that was the toughest round for young Yelland.
Many thought that this would be a really easy night's work for Nicky Booth. It hasn't been, but the question, Jim, now is, it's crucial, surely, for Jamie Yelland to get through the next 2 or 3 rounds. Is this crunch time for the Finchley fighter?
Yeah, I would say so, because this is the first point in the fight where he's really going to have to show his character. I think he was boxing so well in the early rounds, although he was under pressure, he was boxing, he was under control, although he was under pressure. Now, we can see now, can he resume that control?
6th round here. Remember, it's Nicky Booth's British title on the line. Jamie Yelland fighting in this championship class for the first time, and he has not let himself down. He's had no pressure on him, no worries, nobody expected him to win. That's exactly what happened when Jamie Moore upset Michael Jones last week. Can Yelland follow suit? Is it the year of the underdog? He's got to live with Booth, and this is crunch time.
I think Booth has finally come to his senses. I think Booth come into the ring tonight thinking the job was half done already. That is never the case in this game. So now I think he's realised the seriousness of this. He's getting down to work.
Slight mark under the left eye of Nicky Booth. And still Yelland having sporadic success, despite the fact that Booth's game is returning to him. It's ebbed and flowed this, hasn't it? And you feel there may be more twists and turns to go.
Yeah, well, this has been an excellent fight so far. I'm really impressed with Yelland's tactics, the fact that he stood his ground, used a tight defence, some head movement, but he hasn't gotten on his bike. But it signs now that Booth's strength and determination beginning to make an impact here.
Power, experience, know-how, knowledge, all in Nicky Booth's favour. Favourite part of the fight, middle rounds. Jamie Yelland just drops his glove there. Tries to bravely stand with Booth. Is that sensible, or do you want to see him pump out his jab again and get on his bike?
I think he's never really gone on his bike since the first bell, but maybe a little bit more mobile. But it's difficult now. I mean, this has been a hard pace. They haven't stopped working, they haven't clinched. So I think that the pace will begin to tell now in both of them that Booth is more used to fighting at this pace. This is Booth's kind of fight. It's not really Yelland's kind of fight at the moment.
He lives and breathes this sort of a battle, Nicky Booth, the one it's turning into. The hardened soul that he possesses, he says, second to none. Yelland may be slowing, but he is certainly still putting together some decent punches. And he's got to weather this storm. Look at him fight back. It's a wonderful performance from Yelland.
Yeah, but Booth's having the last word in the exchanges now. In the first couple of rounds, Yelland was doing that, but not at the moment.
Let's have a look at the punches landed to the head. Just 11 more from Booth to the body. Interestingly, I think in the last 2 or 3 that stat has gone up. And, well, that's the question. Can Jamie Yelland deal with those?
Free left hook stick, free left hooks. And again, free left hooks.
Nicky Booth, ready for the 7th round. This a favourite, the one that A.D. Lewis felt. And let's join Craig Slater, who's with Jason Shinfield.
Yes, Nicky boxing well here, Jason, but it's a competitive one, this, isn't it?
Yeah, Yelland's obviously done fancy in the job. He's got a game plan. He's obviously trying to tighten up Nicky up in the inside, but I think for the first 3 rounds, Yelland's game plan will work. But I think, as everybody can see now, Nicky's getting to him and grinding him down. He'll do well to last the course, I think.
Do you think Nicky can go on and force a stoppage?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yelland looking a bit worse for wear in the last round, I thought. His weight rate had dropped a lot and Nicky was starting to pick it up.
Thanks, Jason.
Jason Shinfield believing the fight sways towards Nicky Booth. These are the times that Jamie Yelland has got to hold on. The round that Jim Betts fell, A.D. Lewis fell, and Stephen Oates, the 7th, Nicky Booth's favourite.
See, this is when you want to put a stamp, this is when you want to put your foot on the gas, because if Yelland gets through the middle stages and sees the last 2 or 3 rounds, he can see the light at the end of the tunnel, he can grit his teeth. But Booth will want to do the damage at this stage. Just try to take the fight out of Yelland. No signs he can do that, because this little fella's giving it all he's got. But this is where an experienced champion puts his foot on the gas and tries to get the other fella out of the fight. Don't let him see the final stretch.
Booth holding the middle of the ring. Now, is that ominous?
Well, see, Jason Shinfield seemed to agree with us that Yelland was doing well in the first few rounds. His tactics were working, but there certainly has been a turn in events now.
Good body shot from Yelland. Got through under the right elbow of Nicky Booth, and a right to the head as well from Yelland. Is he strong enough though? The gum shield comes out. He's put so much into this. Nicky Van just gives both fighters a momentary respite.
Yelland really breathing heavily there, Adam. Not holding the gum shield in. These are all bad signs, I'm afraid, but he's still putting up a tremendous show.
Is that the answer? That Nicky Booth has just been to the well so many times before. He's been through pain, he's been through the barriers, and at this domestic level he finds a way through somehow. He must be so difficult to fight, Jim.
Yeah, well, you just can't discourage or deter him, and this is when we start seeing him looking for the body now. He hasn't looked for the body too often, but this is the perfect time to do that, and Booth has learned that in previous fights. Middle stages, start working the body.
The extra snap as well now from Nicky Booth as he just hunts down James Yelland, and it's becoming very, very hard for the North London man.
You're not throwing the food on, you're not working, you're not doing the weight. You're trying to it's coming back with us, mate, alright? It's coming back with us. Your second wind's coming now, mate, alright? All that work we've done, here it comes. Here it comes now. Just keep stepping in and out and put your jabs on him, alright? Make him this big.
Just trying to get him through these torrid rounds, Jim.
Yeah, well, he's beginning to struggle, and I think the big problem now, I think maybe his heart is slightly dented, because the first words he said when he got back to the corner, he said to his corner man, "I'm exhausted." Exhausted wasn't quite the word he used, but that's what he meant. And if he thinks he hasn't got much left, and we still have 6 rounds ahead, he is struggling. 5 rounds ahead, sorry.
8th round, remember the silver trunks, black boots, Nicky emblazoned on the waistband of One Smooth Booth, the champion. 4th defence of the title, and proving to be one of the harder ones. Won this at 48 hours notice against Tommy Waite. Beautiful display. Nicky Booth, he took his chance, and he's built on it so well at domestic level. Bantamweight division not the strongest at the moment. Johnny Arm and Noel Wilders. Nicky Booth really head and shoulders above the others, but Jamie Yelland, ranked about 6th coming into this, has put up a really good show. Is it enough? Will it be?
Well, the signs are that the fight is turning against him at the moment, which is a big problem. As I say, when he got back to his corner, he was complaining that he didn't have much left in the tank. So this is a dig deep. That was the reason I felt that an experienced fighter puts the pen down at this stage. When the challenger starts to see the light at the end of the tunnel, they can grit their teeth and dig in. But this is the time to get a fellow out of the fight, and I think young Nicky Booth realises that himself.
Yelland matching him with jabs just a moment ago, but has he the firepower to match Booth with hooks? Right hand's had success. He's certainly not looked as good as we've seen him before. Nicky Booth defending his British title. Is that credit to Yelland?
Yeah, but I think he's now grinding Yelland down, and at this stage, in this kind of fight, it's the fellow who's the boss in the last minute of the rounds usually tells you the story of where the plot is going. And definitely Booth is the man finishing the round stronger. Full credit to Yelland, a wonderful show he's putting up here, but really struggling.
Starting to get through now. Nicky Booth with more regularity, and Yelland only has 2 stoppages on the 10-fight slate. And he's looking really, really tired now. Booth searching for the uppercuts. The home crowd getting behind him. You sense now that Jamie Yelland is seriously starting to struggle.
And Booth really beginning to do a real professional job now, you know, just keeping the pressure, not giving him a second to even get a deep breath. This is the experience now of championship. This is beginning a little bit flash now. I don't think it's time for the flash stuff there, young Nicky. I think you still have a job on your hands here.
Blocks the hook well, Nicky Booth. Trying to pepper Yelland with uppercuts on the inside. It's all getting too much for Jamie Yelland, who did so very well over the first 4 or 5 rounds, but now there's trouble.
Water, please. That's good. Arms down. That's good. Keep it going. Looking in there, mate. With your mouth. Take your time. Keep it nice and deep. Right. Keep breathing. Deep breaths. Remember you're breathing all the time.
They're rubbing the ear, Jim. Trying to motivate him.
Yep, I've never seen that one done before. Maybe it's worked in the past, but he's never needed motivation so much as he needs it now. Nothing wrong with his heart, but I don't think there's much left in the tank of young Jamie Yelland. He's given everything he has. This is not the kind of fight he likes. It's not the way he likes to do business. He likes to box, jab and move. He's been dragged into a war now without any choice, and things are beginning to go pretty drastically against him now.
5 years older, Jamie Yelland, but far less experienced. And this is what's beginning to tell now as Nicky Booth ups the tempo, goes through the gears, and I think he realises now it's time to finish the fight.
This is Nicky Booth sending out a message now. You feeling tired, son? Well, here, I haven't even warmed up yet. That's the message he's sending out now. He won't keep this pace going, I wouldn't imagine, for the full round, but he's making his point, which is the main thing.
Even when Booth has gone up to fight Samoneo and Molitor, he has been so full of spirit, refusing to buckle, and that must be so hard for the man in front, just trying to survive, get through it, weather the storm.
There were signs in the early rounds that maybe Booth had taken this a little bit lightly. I still believe that, but one thing's for sure, he hasn't taken the gymnasium work lightly. He's prepared properly. He is in excellent shape.
Blood from the mouth of Yelland, thanks to those Nicky Booth uppercuts. Amazing willpower he has. I mean, he's lost 4 fights and drawn 1 in his 21-fight career, Nicky Booth, but nothing has ever got him down. He just comes back fighting, and it's a tremendous attitude to have, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful attitude, perfect attitude actually. The only thing is that you should learn from defeats, and sometimes you have to change parts of your makeup, parts of your style. I think Nicky just goes back and does it all over again, so I would worry that maybe he doesn't learn from his mistakes, but nevertheless, entertainment value, top of the class.
Jabs, right hands, body shots, everything starting to get through. Still Yelland competitive, gloves up. It's more worrying faces. The corner, Paul Rees and Andy Smith, who are trying so hard to get their young man through this. Booth goes to the body. Can he bring the elbows down? Oh, Yelland's taking some big shots. He's partially blocking a few. Tries to meet fire with fire. Take your hat off to Jamie Yelland. It's been a tremendous effort. Gum shield out again. Look at him in there. Oh, what spirit he's showing, the Fitzley fighter. Is that a last hurrah? Or really, is there something left in the tank? All of a sudden, Booth looks a bit tired and ragged. What a finish to that round was from the exhausted Jamie Yelland.
This is our title.
Good run.
Beautiful, beautiful boxing. They said you couldn't do it, James, didn't they? They said we should have stayed at home, didn't they? Yeah.
Have a look at the 9th round. 127 Nicky Booth threw in 1 round. That's up to his standards. That's phenomenal, really. And he landed 37 of them, although Yelland did somehow suck them up and come back.
Yeah, then Yelland had a nice little burst towards the end of the round just to prove you haven't made an impression on me. I'm still here to win this title. I have him really falling behind now. Wonderful start, but Booth just beginning to grind them down. But as you said at the end of that round, little signs that Booth was also feeling the pace. We'll see who comes back with pressure. I would imagine Booth's stamina to stand him in good stead now.
It was interesting, Spencer Oliver was telling me beforehand, and he knows Jamie Yelland so very well because they worked together since they were kids. He said that he believes Booth would win this fight, but that he had so much heart, Yelland, so much bags of desire and determination, and that's come through the last few rounds. We've seen that. What next? Looks a bit fresher now, doesn't it, Yelland?
Yeah, well, I wonder if that little burst at the end of the previous round has just emptied his tank. It doesn't seem like it, but we're not even a minute into this 10th round yet, so it's the last couple of minutes where we'll find out.
Again, sticking to the jab, as he has done since the opening bell, Jamie Yelland, just trying to outbox Nicky Booth. He told us his plan. He's tried to execute it. It hasn't gone totally according to the way the team want because of Booth's strength, desire and experience. But he's had his success in there, Jamie Yelland, and very few of us thought that would be the case.
In the early rounds, Yelland was relying on quick reflexes to get his counter punches home and get back out of trouble, but the pace they've had to fight at, they must be feeling exhausted, so that obviously everything slows, the reflexes, so he's having to stand in there now. This is not the way he likes to do business, but what a good job he's making of it.
Went 10 rounds when he beat Gareth Payne in October, never gone beyond that. Will he have the stamina to even see this through, Jamie Yelland, because you feel he doesn't have the punch to turn this around unless Booth gets really careless, Jim.
Well, he hasn't allowed Booth to dominate this round. He's giving pretty much as good as he's getting in this round, and that must be a big shock to Nicky Booth as well as myself. This is a tough round here.
It's been a tough fight for both men. It's been a good contest, a decent British title fight. Those who say the division's so weak as Nicky Booth lands a terrific right hook. Well, it may be weak, but if they're good matches, we'll have more of them.
Really impressed with the spirit that Jamie Yelland has shown here tonight. He's found this a real struggle, but he's just grit his teeth and got on with the job. Wonderful performance.
Big chance, and he has taken it with both hands, Jamie Yelland. He may be a fair way behind on the card of Mickey Van. We don't know, but, well, we should be very impressed. Nicky Booth smiles. That wry, arrogant, cocky look, as though he knows now everything's under control. Is it?
Well, on my card, I think we've taken his title back home with him tonight, but the job is still not done, and the fact that Yelland's still showing so much spirit.
Look at how many punches has been thrown already in just 10 rounds, almost 1,500. And both have had their success. It's been a real entertaining match at 8 stone 6 for this British title, and it shows how much the Lonsdale belt means to them.
Given the fact that Nicky Booth already owns the belt, it just shows you it's just pride. The reason he's in here is the pride in being British champion.
6 minutes to go.
There's a lump of grease. I think there's a lump of grease on Booth's shoulder. I just want to get that off of there.
Just a bit of Vaseline. I think he's sharing a joke with Mickey Van. I love hearing Nicky Booth interviews. It'll be interesting again to see what he says after the fight. Furthest Jamie Yelland's ever been. 2 rounds to go. British title at stake. So much pride, so much heart has been shown in that ring, and both men can be very proud of what they've given us tonight. Has Booth just got the edge? Is he running away with it? Is he outmanning Jamie Yelland now? Will he stop him?
Well, it's looking really promising the way he started this round, but yet again he takes a deep breath and comes back as fresh as ever. His powers of recovery are phenomenal. I do not think Jamie Yelland can match that.
Spits defiance in his own way, Yelland, but the punches have no effect, and Booth just walks through them. He marches his man down, gum shield out from the third time. And he really looks half spent now, Jamie Yelland. He's done so well. He so wants to get through this.
He's just been warned, Adam, if a gum shield drops again, he's going to have a point off. But I think even Mickey Van admires what he's doing so much that he would hate to do that. I don't think that the outcome of the fight would hinge on that, but you wouldn't want to penalise a young man putting up a show like this.
Michael Jones lost his gum shield some 6-7 times in his British defence last week. John Coyle didn't take a point off for that, but Yelland has more important matters in front of him, and that at the moment is sheer survival. Look at the look on Nicky Booth's face. He's been there before, he knows this territory, and he's working his way in bit by bit.
You have to hand it to Booth. I mean, he was accused in his earlier career of not paying attention to the sport, not doing it properly. Well, he certainly turned the corner. He's in superb condition here. Tremendous pace here for the 11th round.
That's it, when he drew with Anthony Hanna and lost a rematch. He was coming back in the car with his brother Jason from Wales, and Jason said, well, I should take the boxing forward now, Nicky. Give it a rest. Well, Nicky Booth has come back and proved everybody wrong. He's a joy to have in this sport. He's in entertaining fights, and he seems to find a way at British level to prevail.
Well, we know what to expect from Nicky Booth, but we didn't quite know what to expect from Jamie Yelland. But he can go home proud tonight. On my card, he's a clear loser, but not as far as his own career is concerned. Head held high tonight. What a tremendous performance he's putting on here.
And he's not folding. These are big shots going in from Booth. Getting his gloves up, Jamie Yelland. Oh, how so tired he must be in there. He's given every last bit. Quite phenomenal. Nicky Booth has been in a fight tonight. It's been one he surely is winning. See from the punches, landed over 250 from Booth. But look, Jamie Yelland's had his success, but he needs a knockout, doesn't he, Jim?
Yeah, and I don't really see much chance of that happening. I think the main thing is now I want to see him do the distance here. I want to see him complete the 12 pounds. He's never done it before. He's thrown in at the deep end here. He had to take this chance. As I said earlier, if you want to win titles, you have to face the fellows who hold the title. So he's taken his place. He's acquitted himself admirably.
They touch gloves. A lot of respect. Look at what Nicky Booth did there. He winked to him. He knows that Jamie Yelland has been a tough challenger. Probably the hardest one he's had yet. He's worked out how to get through the others. On Jim's card, he's 3 ahead. We don't know how Mickey Van's got it, but you get the feeling that it's Booth now.
Yeah, he's always looked the boss, even in the early rounds when I was scoring the rounds to Yelland because of his accuracy, his good defence and Booth's carelessness. But you always had the idea that Booth was that little bit stronger, more impressive in his attitude and the way he went about his business. But tremendous showing. So if Booth wins the last round, 4 points I'll have him winning, retaining his title with, and that is no shame to Jamie Yelland.
It reminds me a little bit of the way he won the British title against Tommy Waite who was a bit of a non-puncher, but was there to the end, and Booth was just that bit stronger, and well, now he starts to showboat, and the crowd don't like that, and Mickey Van doesn't, and that's right, isn't it?
Good referee, Mickey Van, yeah, no nonsense. People have paid good money here. Give them what they paid the money for.
Just play acting now, Nicky Booth. He doesn't think Jamie Yelland can hurt him, but the fight's not over until the 36 minutes of the championship contest are up. And remember, Jim, Paul Ingle, when he fought Manuel Medina, got caught in the 12th round doing that.
Yeah, because his mind went off the job, and you can never afford, even with a quoted non-puncher, you can never let your mind stray from the job at hand.
Work rate, pace, use of the ring, stalking, all the tactics in the Nicky Booth artillery, which are going to get him through this, unless Jamie Yelland can get lucky in the last minute. It looks absolutely impossible now. He's held the ring, he's weathered the skillful little opening that Yelland had, and he did box well, didn't he?
He really did, yep. I mean, he's always looked in control. I think, as I said a couple of times, I think he fancied this might be an easy job. After 4 rounds, he realised it wasn't an easy job. He knuckled down and just had a good little throw, ground out a performance. Excellent performance from both men.
All caught by a lovely right hand there from Booth. And he's holding on to get to the final belt. And how well and how much does Jamie Yelland deserve to hear that? Because he has fought above all expectations. He's given Nicky Booth a tremendous challenge. It is not enough. Nicky Booth retains his British title for the 4th time. But look at the respect he's showing Team Yelland. It was a very, very good fight. Far more level than we thought it would be. And Jim, both men can go home with their heads held up high, surely.
Yeah, well, young Booth's head's always held high, but Yelland has proved he can do it at championship level. Thrown in at the deep end. Look at the amount of punches. Booth 1,100 punches, Yelland 643. Unbelievable.
1,700 in 12 rounds. Wonderful stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 action-packed rounds, referee Mickey Van has scored this contest for Yelland 114, for Booth 116. Your winner, and still the British Bantamweight champion from
very close.
Nottingham.
Just 2 rounds in it, and after the break, we'll be hearing from both of these extraordinary young men.
And ladies and gentlemen,
the British Bantamweight title is Nicky Booth's once more. He loves defending it here in Nottingham. He's done it again, wearing down Jamie Yelland, as he's done all the others here in Nottingham. But it was possibly the hardest of them all. Both men can be very proud of their efforts. Here they are now with Ed Robinson.
Well, Nicky, a gutsy challenge tonight from James Yelland. He fought his heart out, didn't he?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Trainers were shouting at me. They were coming on strong all the time. We were catching each other with lovely shots. I tell you something, he's a lot stronger than the 4 years. He's a better boxer. I give him 100% credit because he was harder than Oates all them. He boxed me there. I mean, he used his brain. We both had a boxing lesson in each other, didn't we? But like you say, the champ's still on top. And I'm proud to win, proud to be a winner.
Jamie, you tried your best, but it wasn't quite enough tonight.
No, you're right. I found it hard after the 6th. Up until the 6th, I thought it was going okay. And then the pace got to me a little bit. Maybe a few more fights under my belt, and I could have lasted the pace a bit better and maybe got a different result.
You'll be back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A
couple of months, yeah. You know,
I mean, what can you say? He's done 12 rounds with the ultimate king of the bantamweights, hasn't he, really? You know what I mean? That's all I can say. Get Johnny Armour, all them. I mean, the British will be vacant soon when I knock Johnny Armour's spark out. But like
is that the fight you're looking for, Johnny Armour for the WBU title? Well, let's have a word with Tommy Gilmore.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a fight we've been longing to make with Johnny Armour. He should have boxed him, but he chose to box Nathan Sting instead. And we've been told by Barry Hearn that fight will definitely be made with Nicky and Johnny Armour at some stage. So I think it'll be a great fight for Sky.
And then if you win the WBU title, maybe this man could win the British title.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't see why he shouldn't. That's if I put it up vacant.
Well done tonight.